we have a problem we're gonna have to solve together. This sounds like a Dora the Explorer. I have a client who's been booking me for the last couple of years, and they've had the inflatable enclosure with the iPad selfie booth inside. Same client has reached out, has booked the 360 again, and now wants the inflatable enclosure, but they want Mr. Professional inside of the inflatable enclosure. My thoughts as a producer, right, is we need to fit Mr. Professional inside of an inflatable enclosure that's 9.5 wide and 9.5 high. However, the umbrella, all right? Another thing is it's gonna be a tight space in there. So what are we gonna do about the template? Let's go ahead and jump into how I am going to figure this out with you here today. Let's get into it right now. But first things first, let's inflate the inflatable enclosure. One thing about an inflatable enclosure is that if it's windy, you better have some heavy bags, because I was in a situation where my inflatable cube was like this. And I was like, oh, damn. So I had to pin it down with trash cans at a high school. So my lesson learned, right? So if you guys have an inflatable enclosure and you guys live in a place where it's really windy, be careful with this inflatable enclosure, because it really acts like a kite, like you're parasailing. So my Mr. Professional, with the umbrella height right now where it's at, it's 7.5 feet tall. This in here is supposed to be 8.5, I believe 8.5, but that's going to be the total size, meaning like from the ground all the way to the ceiling. But when you guys come inside here with me, is the ceiling in here is a lot more shorter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring in Mr. Professional in here and see. Let's do this together. Let me put the camera right here. Well, as you guys can see, just as I suspected, this is where the rod is at so far. So if we add this umbrella right here, it's not going to fit. So here's what I'm thinking, and this actually might work out. We can actually add the flash head here. Let me come outside so you guys can hear me better. We can actually add the flash head without the umbrella and use every part of the enclosure as a surface to bounce off the flash. Now, in theory, that's exactly what should happen, and what helps is that it's actually white. So I'm going to take that Godox, I'm going to remove the umbrella and set it back up there. And I think I'm not going to include the head. Right, check this out. I don't think I'm going to include this part. I'm just going to let the flash bulb be exposed and then turn up the flash to get some good, really good lighting bouncing off everything in here. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm also thinking, what if we put it in one corner? That way it's further out and it gives us more room for the people right here. That's not a bad idea. I actually might try that, using it from corner to corner, which I feel probably would allow more space. So I removed the umbrella, but now we have this thing dangling right here. This usually goes connected to the umbrella. What I can also do is I can take this cord and connect it directly to the inside of the camera without having to use this trigger. We can actually experiment and see how that would pan out. So I'm going to remove this receiver. I'm going to disconnect it. So now I'm just left with the sync cable and the actual flash head. We'll see how this works out. Someone on YouTube told me that we can connect it directly to the trigger on the actual camera. So let's check that out. I don't want to leave out any of the details. So here's what I'm doing. I ran the sync cable through the hole right here. Through this hole right here. And it's coming in. And now I've connected it to the trigger right up here. So right here, see how it's connected to the trigger right there? So in theory, this is supposed to trigger that. I have the anchor. I'm going to go ahead and connect the anchor to Mr. Professional right now. Get it some power. Good. All right. So, wow, this looks gorgeous. Let's go ahead and turn on the light. Okay, the brightness is set up way too high. I'm going to go ahead and lower it and start off at 18 or 32. We'll start off at 32. Here's the next thing I want to do is I want to come in here and hit the flash. There's a little trigger button right here. Let's see if it's going to let the flash off. Yeah, did you guys see that? Look at it. That's good. All right, so this is actually probably going to work, which is great. All right, next thing is let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and bring this down so that we can get the reflection to bounce off the entire back end. I'm going to drop this camera. By the way, a lot of you guys asked me if this is tiltable, adjustable. Look how easy this is. Boom, it's done. If the guy's a little taller, the group's a little taller, go like that, boom, it's done. Shorter, smaller kids, boom, it's complete. It's that quick. It's really, really that quick. So, Mr. Professional, I'm telling you guys, it's nearly perfect, all right? The nearly perfect photo booth, Mr. Professional. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to choose the R100. It says cannot connect to the device, generic protocol failure, turning on the camera on and off may help. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to turn it on and off. Turn it back on. Okay, there we go. That's what we want. I'm anxious to take this photo already. Okay, cool. So it's loading it up. See how the screen is a little crooked? Here, let me show you. It's a little, so I can reach in here and just tap it like that and then center it perfectly. This is why I love how wide this is. It allows me to adjust left or right if I need to. All right, so here I am. And I'm going to take a photo. The ISO set to 250 right now. Here, I'll show you guys. And right up here, we're at 1/32. Now let's see how the photo comes out with the flash right over there, okay? And look, guys, look. That's how I have it set right now. So I'm expecting it to hit this entire back end and flash up this entire cube. So let's see if my theory is going to work out. I'm going to take one large photo. Here we go. Let's see how that, oh, wow. Heck yeah. All right, hold on. Let me, look at this. This came out perfect. You know what I can do too as well, guys, is I can actually turn up the brightness a little bit higher up here. Because I feel like if I move it up to 16 and do this again, I might get even better, a better higher quality photo. All right, let's do that again. Yeah, the photos are coming out gorgeous. This is really, really nice. Now, there is a way you can make the background whiter, brighter, without you being overexposed. And the way you could do that is you can go to take the photo, right? And then when you're here, you can swipe up with 3 fingers and go to image. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my ISO up to 320. And so what's supposed to happen now is everything is supposed to light up brighter. So I might come out a little bright, but then I can adjust this if I need to. So let me go ahead and try that. And see how bright it comes out. Even better. So yeah, the quality in here is amazing. Here, let me go ahead and adjust my camera so you guys can see the detail on the photo. That's exactly what we're shooting for. In fact, guys, we didn't have to change the lens because if groups are standing right here, watch, let's go to take that photo as if it was a larger group. If it's a larger group, everyone can kind of squeeze in here and we can get 1, 2, 3, and then 4 people. 1, 2, 3, like about 6 people. But I still feel like in this tight area, what would be ideal is if we can get a wide lens. So right now, this is a crop sensor camera, and we're using a 25 millimeter to 50, but it's at 25 being the widest. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this one right here. This is an 18, so it's going to be a much wider shot. We're going to change the lens. So give me a few seconds while I change this kit lens that you guys can buy with an R100. This is called the kit lens. And I'm going to switch it to this one, 18 to 45, and leave this at 18 as wide as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that. Let me go ahead and put the camera down and switch out the lenses. You know, I also want to show you guys how easy it is to take the camera out of Mr. Professional. So I'll leave the camera rolling. So first thing first is I'm going to turn it off. Then I'm going to disconnect that top cable that's coming into the flash. Remember we connected that cable? So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it like that. Next thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect. Well, I really don't have to. Let me just go bring the lens right over here. This is going to be much faster. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the lens that's on right now with this lens right here. And get you to focus. There we go. We're going to go ahead and switch it out with this one. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the data cable. Actually, I don't have to. What I really want to do is I want to unscrew this right here like that. Then put it somewhere where it won't break. Then reconnect the kit lens. All right. And then put it right back in here. And I'm going to turn it on. See how quick that was, guys? And now I'm just going to go ahead and push, get the lens to come out and back in. This is going to activate it. So now it's set to 18 millimeters. We're going to go around and see how we come out now, okay? This is a wider lens. Let's go see how that comes out. If you guys are enjoying this video, remember to hit the like button to help me out. So I'm trying to help you guys out as much as possible by sharing this with you guys. So we're going to restart the camera. And now I'm back here. And there's a lot more space. So earlier I did 1 step here. Then 2 steps here. 3 steps here. So it's like you can add an extra person now. So this is actually a lot wider. And I like it. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's take a photo. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this. Move it to the right a little bit more. Barely. Just a little bit. There you go. There's right in the middle now. So I'm really far out. What does it say? The device was unable to take the picture. Oh, that's right. I didn't connect the cable back. Let me go ahead and connect that cable back. Let me connect the cable. Hold on. That ought to do it. There we are. Image 320. You guys will see how small I came out, and I was nearly towards the very back. So that means that we can squeeze in a bunch of people in here. It looks like I have something in my hair. Oh, there it is. I had this in my hair. You can see it in the photo. Oh, check it out. You can see it in the photo. You see it, guys? Right there. That's how sharp the photo came out. That's neat, man. That is neat. So the lighting right now is definitely on point. But I do want to point something out, no pun intended, is when I come over to skip and I go over to take the photo, I want you guys to notice something. When I go to the image right here, Did you guys know that you can do this right here where you guys can come over to white balance and you have the option to change it to automatic, priority white, cloudy, shade. So right now it's at color temperature. And I like color temperature because it complements the warmer colors as well. But right now, since it's all white, I would probably go to automatic white priority and then retake that photo. And it's going to look slightly different. It makes my skin look a little yellow and it makes the background look more white. Quite honestly, I like the other look a little better. So let's do this again. But this time I'm going to try something different. I'm going to go to image. And instead of automatic white priority, I'm just going to go with automatic. Okay. There we go. So white automatic definitely complements this. And this time I'm going to take another photo, guys, but I'm going to take a photo close up, like right here. So we can get more like my facial features. Okay. Photo came out pretty good. It's just a little on the overexposed side because I came closer to the camera. But yeah, dude, you could definitely do this right here. You can even flip it to face this direction. And in fact, I can do that with you guys because all I have to do is turn this around like this. Look. Like that. Now the flash is going over my head. It's going to bounce off. Let's go ahead and take a test photo and test out that theory. So the brightness is actually way up. And so what I would do in this case is a couple things. This is definitely overexposed, watch. You see how bright my forehead is? What I would want to do is if a photo's coming out like this, there's several things you guys can do without even tampering with this up here. You guys can swipe up with 3 fingers and then you guys can drop the ISO. That's one thing you can do. Okay? Or you guys can higher your aperture to like 7.1. And so I'm going to go to 7.1 and you'll see that the photo won't come out as bright. In fact, it might come out perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and check it out. So it's getting better. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again. Remember, we're going for perfection because this is our production. And another thing that I can do too is I can drop the ISO to 250. That's going to make a pretty big difference. Let's check that out. And actually 250 is a sweet spot. So I like that right there. That's good right there. I think that came out good. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gents. So today you guys came with me on a quest and we solved the problem. We can definitely use the wider lens, the kit lens, 18 millimeter with the crop sensor because the R100 is a crop sensor. This inflatable is definitely a way you guys can maybe make some extra money if you guys say, charge a client an extra $100, for example. Mr. Professional, again, proved to be nearly the perfect photo booth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.